What's up, spectators? Welcome back to an episode of Ace Attorney 6, where it's been revealed that Queen Amara was not the killer of Minister Inga because she swapped places with Queen Garen. So... if Queen Amara's not the killer, then who is it? Isn't it obvious? Why was this rite held in the first place if Queen Garen wasn't going to perform it? Who was behind the two sisters switching places and for what reason? The answers to these questions, along with the establishment of Queen Amara's alibi, obliterate a certain someone else's alibi. Dirks!
Take that!
Why, is this some kind of yoke? No, your majesty. I could never joke about something so grave. The only one who seemed to have a perfect alibi at the time of the murder was Her Eminence, Garen. Queen Amara, didn't your sister Queen Garen ask you to pose as her and perform the rite of channeling? And didn't she also have you drive Dirk's spirit from Miss Faye's body, and then stage the crime to make it look like he was the minister's killer? And at 2 p.m. while you were performing the rite of channeling as Queen Garen, didn't she kill Minister Inga while disguised as Dirk? Well, you're best for this? It's no use trying to hide it any longer. You need to tell us the truth now. Justice Minister Inga's true killer is... What the fuck? That's lame, man. No.
I really did it! My life is yours!
Isn't he one of Garen's royal guards? Queen Amara!
Bailiff, kill him!
Garen couldn't have. Could she? Someone call for an ambulance, quickly now. She's not dead. We'll arrest What's-Her-Face and then she'll be queen, it'll all be good. We're lucky the ambulance made it in time. But we've been forced into a recess for now while things get straightened out. I can't believe what just happened. Tell me about it. Do you think Garen put that guard up to it? If she did, she's going to regret it. No one gets away with something like that on my watch. Poor Queen Amara. Your benevolence? Any news on her condition? She's undergoing surgery at the hospital as we speak. They're giving her a 50-50 chance of survival, though. That Garen. Justice will be served. Why did this happen? Just as we were finally reunited. Oh, Queen Amara. What was that about being reunited? Oh, it's nothing. Right. How are you, Hornhead? Dirk Sadmani was your father in all but blood, after all. Thanks for your concern, your benevolence. But I'm fine. Right now, we still have a trial to see through. So that's what I'm gonna stay focused on. You are sturdier than your stature lets on. Just don't overdo it, okay, Apollo? Dirk, that was a real shocker, alright. Can't believe the dragon's dead. Say, AJ, I was wondering, when Dirk disappeared after I freed him, that's because Amara turned back into herself, right? Yeah, I suppose so, but I don't know if it was because Dirk's spirit willed it, or if it was a part of Garen or Amara's plan. Man, our dream of revolution. Now what are we gonna do? Is this it? Don't give up yet. There's a very good chance that Garen is the real culprit in all this. If we can prove her guilt in court. Hey, you're right. That could be just the push we need. The dream lives on. Yes, it does. You know what that means, AJ. The fate of the revolution rests squarely on your shoulders. All in a day's work. Who am I kidding? That's a ton of pressure. But this is what Dirk gave his life for, so I have to do this for him. The Honorable Rebel Dirk Sadmati. I would have loved to have spoken with him while he yet lived. Really? Why not? I mean, he seemed like quite an interesting man. Did she bump her head or something earlier? The trial is about to resume. The defense is to report to the courtroom at once. Already? After what just happened? The first thing Garen will do is respond to that last accusation. So you'd better stay on your toes, Apollo. I will, Mr. Wright. Ready or not, Garen, here comes justice. Now then, let us resume today's proceedings. Where's Nayuda? I must offer my apologies. I never imagined a royal guardsman would do such a thing. He wasn't acting under your orders. How dare you cast such suspicion upon Her Eminence? It's quite all right, Your Majesty. Suspicion is only natural under such circumstances. But rest assured that he acted alone, for I knew nothing of his plans. I don't believe that for a second. Now then, Your Majesty, regarding the murder of my husband, Minister Ringa, I'd like to offer a new possibility. A new possibility, you say? Indeed, for during the break, the real killer confessed to me. Bailiff, call the witness to the stand. What's she got up her sleeve this time? I have a bad feeling. He's the one who confessed? Sadmati, you're the real killer? I questioned him during the recess as I felt that Amara had been covering for someone. So it was that he finally confessed his crime to me. You didn't really do it. Her Eminence speaks the truth. It was I who killed Inga. Prosecutor Sadmati, are you absolutely certain about this? A confession of this nature is grave indeed. Yes, I am certain. For I killed him by my own hand. At last, the real killer has been revealed. How are we supposed to respond to this? Retract your confession, now! Mr. Justice, it is not yet time for your cross-examination. Who cares about that? Admit it. It was Queen Garen who put you up to this. She forced you into giving a confession, didn't she? You're out of line, Mr. Justice. Learn some self-restraint. But... or do you have something that might prove that I did not commit this murder? What do you think you're doing, you idiot? Truly, the truth can set us free. Looks like Garen got to him somehow. I definitely didn't see this coming. Nayuda, why are you doing this? Why would you sacrifice even your life to do Garen's bidding? Whatever the case may be, Prosecutor Sadmati, your testimony, please. I cannot remain silent while Her Eminence fell under suspicion for this crime. It was I who murdered Justice Minister Inga. He had to die for the future of Kurain. I considered it divine judgment cast upon a fiend who sought to assassinate our monarch. My mother was simply covering for me. I am ashamed I let her go so far for my sake. You do understand what you're doing, right, Nayuda? You're sentencing yourself to death if you're found guilty. If that is the court's verdict, then so be it. I must obey the law above all else. The law or the queen?
Objection!
She is the law! Enough! This blather has nothing to do with the witness's testimony. Please address any issues you have during the cross-examination, defense. Oh, I will. I'm gonna blow this problematic testimony to smithereens! Who still says smithereens? Apparently the localizers do.
Hold it!
You kept quiet all this time, even though you were the real killer. Yes, and I accept that what I have done can never be forgiven. But I never imagined suspicion would fall upon the queen herself. Sanmari has placed the future of our kingdom above his own life. He's taking responsibility for his crime and is showing his loyalty to queen and country. Without a monarch on the throne, Kuraid would be plunged into chaos. I could never wish that upon my homeland. That is why I had to let the truth be known. What a bunch of baloney. I'm gonna ask you again, Nayuda. Did you really kill Minister Inga? Yes, no matter how many times you ask, Mr. Justice, the truth is immutable. It was I who murdered Mening Inga.
Hold it!
It's not too late. You can still retract your confession before the verdict is rendered. There's no retracting the truth. One either tells it or does not tell it. It is that simple. Why do you always have to be so stubborn, Nayuda? I hate how you never listen to reason once you get like this. I think we'll need some evidence before we can get him to retract his confession. Either that, or we'll have to force a retraction out of him by appealing to what's in his heart. It's not going to be easy either way. Sadmati, what was the motive for your crime? I had reason enough to kill Minister Inga.
Hold it!
What do you mean by that? Minister Inga was planning to assassinate Her Eminence in a coup. I had to nip this evil in the bud, even if it cost me the purity of my soul. So you're saying the death of another is a reasonable price to pay to protect the Queen. Long have we remained independent under the authority of our spirit medium queens. We command the people's awe and respect with the power to commune with the dead. Without such a monarch, our kingdom would lose its standing in the world. But if spirit channeling is so important, why did you have Queen Amara perform the rite? I'm afraid my elder sister is quite capricious. She would fulfill her duty only when the desires too struck, as sporadic as that was. It was therefore something she did on a whim. There was no meaning behind it. A meaningless whim. It's hard to press a statement like that. Now, if I may return to my testimony. I consider it divine judgment cast upon a fiend who sought to assassinate our monarch.
Hold it!
I rendered judgment upon the minister on behalf of the Holy Mother. Are you saying the Holy Mother guided you? No, Her Holiness would never condone killing in her name, regardless of circumstances. As such, I believe my defiled soul will be damned to hell. But I do not regret what I've done. I willingly sacrificed my soul to protect this kingdom's future. Snap out of it already. So his motive comes from a place of faith. Why does that sound completely credible when it's coming from him? Well, Amara expressed a similar motive. As for her mercifulness, she is truly deserving of her title. My mother was simply covering for me, yes.
Hold it!
So you killed Minister Inga and Queen Amara staged the crime. Is that how it went? Precisely. My mother is as clever as she is kind. She sought to conceal my crime by taking all of the guilt upon herself. Yet another lie. I need to poke a hole in his testimony, but how? Nayuta, could it be you? You didn't realize that Nena was actually Queen Amara, your own mother? That is not as strange as you might think. Much time had passed since we last met, after all. Right. 23 years ago, was it? When Dirk saved her after the supposed assassination attempt. No, Mr. Justice. It was 15 years ago that Dirk abducted my mother. That's weird. Are you sure about that? I remembered clearly. I was around 10 years old at the time. Nayuta, please add that last statement to your testimony. Let's see here. Bum ba-dum bum bum. Bum bum. Bum bum bum. Bum 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 bum. It could be that.
Objection!
Okay. You're saying that Dirk made off with Queen Amara 15 years ago. But that's strange because I heard something very different from Dirk. He said that they ran off together 23 years ago. That is impossible. I know for a fact it was 15 years ago. Well, I have evidence that contradicts your statement. How do you explain this photo? Dirk said it was taken 23 years ago. He said that. He did, but if we take what he said as fact, then there's something in this photo that doesn't make any sense. This isn't making any sense to me, so I suppose I should ask. What does not make any sense if the photo is only 15 years old?
Take that!
This discrepancy may not be directly related to this case, but I don't think we can simply overlook it either. Dirk said the baby in the photo was you, but that doesn't make any sense if the photo is only 15 years old. After all, you said you were around 10 then, right? He's definitely sweating bullets over there over something. If this baby is a Nayuta, you don't think. Did Queen Amara have another child while she was on the run? And just what if that child were being held hostage? Nayuta, is that why you obey Queen Garen's every command? You presume too much. And that's why Queen Amara was trying to take the rap as well. To protect this other child. A child born 15 years ago. They would have to be someone who's around 14 or 15 years old now. This is just a guess. But I believe I know someone who fits the bill. This also explains the strange behavior. This is the child who was born to Dirk and Queen Amara 15 years ago. I'll be! I'm just kidding. All those strange statements she kept making, now they all make sense. Prosecutor Sadmati, may I ask you something? Of course, Your Benevolence. I've been meaning to ask you this since yesterday. Did you know about Queen Amara and about me? From where did you hear such a thing? From Mother, and only yesterday. Rafa was carrying on about telling the truth to the people. So I told her what the truth really was. For it is up to a mother to discipline her child. I see. I cannot accept this. Is something the matter, Your Benevolence? Queen Amara is lying! It makes no sense. Queen Amara would not have killed my father. Why did this happen? Yes, we already did all this a second ago. Now I see, Yuda, why you do what you're told. The other child... Oh. Mr. Justice, I believe I know what you're about to say, but I cannot allow you to name an innocent soul as the child of terrible sinners. I thought you might try to stop me. After all, simply revealing this information endangers who you've been trying to protect. I think this should make it clear what I'm talking about. This is the chink in your armor, the reason why you fear for your sibling's reputation.
Take that!
Oh, shit. Okay. What is it? Oh!
Take that!
Because he was expelled, and that is a file full of information that Dirk collected on what happened 23 years ago. Of particular note right now is what's written here. The sins of the father are visited upon his children. This deeply held idea is why you were expelled from the royal family. Which means it wouldn't bode well for your sibling either, if she were revealed to be Dirk's daughter. You became a prosecutor to bring down Queen Garen, but at some point you came to serve the very regime you despised. And that was because the Queen found this chink in your armor. That's how she came to use your sister against you. Have you been keeping this secret all this time? Have you been trying to protect me? You are an innocent party to all this. I live only to safeguard the law and serve the country and queen from which it flows. One such as you, who is destined to ascend to the throne, need not fret over one such as I. I cannot accept that. What you say, it's malarkey. Don't you even care what happens to you? Before country, queen, law, and everyone's future, my personal feelings are of no consequence. That is why I resigned myself to my fate. I know I must accept the status quo without any thoughts of change. Spoken like a true prosecutor and patriot. I shall continue to rule Krain until the day Rafa succeeds me. But that is what's best for our kingdom. I know, Your Eminence. Yours is no small sacrifice. But I promise you this, in exchange for your life. The child shall remain safe and the kingdom shall prosper. That is all I can ask for with my meager existence. Is this really the new you? Resigning yourself to the will of another and killing any hope you held for the future? No! The new you I knew would never let himself be turned into this. Now, Your Majesty, if you would hand down your verdict.
Objection!
You can say you're simply accepting your fate, Naruto, but I know that deep down there is still hope in your heart. Oh, Holy Mother, preserve me. It's the kind of hope that preservers through the most desperate of times. Perseveres, preservers. And it's what binds you, me, and Dirk together as a family. I know because this has demonstrated to me that you haven't lost all hope yet.
Take that!
When you interrogated Dirk, you confiscated all of his possessions as potential evidence. All except this. Do you take your attorney's badge too? No, I thought it strange, but... just when it looked like he was going to take it from me, he changed his mind. So tell me, Naruto, why didn't you take his badge? You couldn't bear to take it from him, could you? And I know why. It's because this badge means something special to us. Hey Dirk, why do you still wear your badge? You're not a lawyer anymore, right? This badge is my heart and soul, son. I'll never stop trying to realize my dream, not until my very last breath. A dragon never yields, right? Exactly. Naruto, Apollo, I vow to restore Kuraiin's legal system to its rightful state one day. I want to pass on to you a world where you can live free from the fear of tyranny. You may say you've given up, but that's not how it really is it? You never gave up and you never will, because you still believe that all the wrongs will be righted someday, don't you? You are very perceptive, Mr. Justice. It may very well be as you say. Why did I not confiscate this badge? Even I did not know. Until now. Perhaps I was waiting for him to save me. And with this, I'm gonna end this video here, so stay tuned Friday for the next episode, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye!